Good morning, good evening, good night. I am Frank Gaffney. Here we are again, Movie Club Monday. Wake Joel up. And so we're onto the Star Wars movies, and we've watched all 9 in the Skywalker saga. And now here we are. We're going to do the I don't know what offshoot. What do you call them?
Stories.
The what?
Star Wars stories.
Star Wars stories. Today we're doing Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which would really butt right up against episode 4 in the Skywalker saga. Here with me, as always, is Amy Goldman. Have you even missed one?
No.
No. And Joel Fenster. Joel, I think you missed one
Missed one what?
of these.
For Star Wars?
Yeah, no, the whole
In general.
since
No.
January. No?
No? No,
I don't think so either.
All right, so Amy and Joel and I get full-time status. The rest of you are supporting characters.
So we get
Missed two.
vacation.
I missed
The
two.
rest.
Two is a
Two.
lot.
It would be
Percentage
Frank
wise, it's not.
Gaffney, Amy Goldman, Joel Fenster in Monday Movie Club with Mark G.
No, wouldn't
Danny
it
Kaye.
be like the first season of Gilligan's Island?
And the
rest.
rest. And the rest. Absolutely. And so
No,
Mark,
that would be Nick.
That
We don't get and the
No,
rest.
Nick,
That
Nick
would
just
be-
makes cameos at this point.
Oh,
He's
right,
like a
right.
cameo, yeah.
Special appearance.
Special
and
appearance.
Nan,
Harold
another
Hector.
cameo appearance by Nan. Mark Wojcicki-Gartner, and how Annie had a tag sale yesterday. How'd it go?
Pretty good. We
Oh,
got
yeah,
rid of a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. By giving it away.
We make about 1,500.
Woo!
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's craziness. Just from the crap in your house. Imagine how much Joel could get selling his crap.
Wow. He
I
would
just
need
have
to do it on like eBay.
Yeah,
He
which
does
I've
do.
been very
he does
slow.
do. He does do it.
Just very
All right.
slowly.
So, okay, now Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I enjoyed it. I did. I'm not apologizing. But of course, it was always nits to pick. Okay, so inherent in a story about rebels trying to steal the Death Star plans, okay, we know they succeed, right? But like the musical 1776, the question is, how do they succeed under these impossible odds? Right? So Mads Mikkelsen, what is it?
Mads Mikkelsen.
I did it right. Okay.
Very close.
He's Galen. I didn't say Mikkelsen.
You were kind of like Muckleson.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like you stumbled
He's-
over it, but it was close.
He's the architect of the Death Star. And of course, we've never heard of him before. We didn't know there was an architect of the Death Star.
Well, you have to
And-
assume based on conversations that happen in Kevin Smith's Clerk movies, you have to assume that there's an architect of the Death Star,
Okay.
And janitors and
janitors and contractors.
like Star Trek's Below Decks.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then and also another little dichotomy for me was that they used the Red Imperial Guard dudes in this one, but they weren't in the original trilogy either. Right?
I agree. I noticed that too. Yeah, when they showed Darth Vader in his room, he had
They had the
two of
Red
those guards
Guard
there.
dudes.
Well, okay, so the Emperor's Royal Guard, the Red Guards, do appear in Return of the Jedi. That's the first time we actually see them.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't exist at this point.
Right.
We just haven't seen them before.
Which is just like maybe 9 years before.
Maybe.
Maybe 9 years. Okay. And in this one, there's not a lot of new places to keep track of. Lamu, Wobani, King of Kafafe. There were so many planets. There was a lot to keep track of. And we get Jimmy Smits here to build a bridge from the original, the prequels. So it was nice to see him again. Okay, so the mission is to kill Galen, the architect. But why wouldn't you want to ask him some questions yet? Like, are there any flaws in your plans for the Death Star? Something? Could we see the blueprints? Something? Now, here's a ridiculous line that George Lucas could have written. Jin says to Cassian, trust goes both ways. Trust goes both ways. Sure it does. And of course, it's a standard cliche where the two leads of the movie don't like each other, don't trust each other. We've seen that a million times. Okay, and I really thought it was Peter Cushing. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't he dead? Oh, he is dead.
He is dead, and there was, and how did you think that? Because there was something really off and odd about him.
Yes, I thought that too. I'm like, boy, they got somebody who looks really a lot like Peter Cushing. And then I
He did a
read
better
that.
job with the woman, whoever's in charge. She looked just like the one from Star Wars.
Because she was.
Yeah, I think she was.
The actress playing Mon Mothma was the same actress who played
Yeah.
her in the prequels, not the original trilogy, but the prequels.
Right, she was in the original trilogy. Whoever this
Yes,
woman
but
is.
they recast her for the prequels and used the woman from the prequels to
In this-
play her. in
I know,
this.
I saw that she was in it, but she looks just like the woman the actress.
Oh yeah, sure, but yeah. Peter Cushing, they
digitized her like they
didn't
did
show
for the guy who played Peter Cushing.
Yeah, that was
Close
a
proximity.
draft.
Okay, so but you would think that, well, the CGI fooled me. I just thought it was a weird Peter Cushing. Oh, somebody who is very, very much look like him. But here's the thing. Shouldn't they have de-aged Darth Vader's voice? I mean, he really sounded like an old man.
Yeah, he definitely sounded older.
Yeah.
But this is like this is how he sounded in Star Wars, and this is 3
No,
seconds
I
before
think,
Star
I
Wars.
think he sounded much older here
Yeah.
Oh,
than
okay.
the Star Wars. All right. And then making shit up again, Kyber crystals. You have to
Not
have
making it
Kyber.
up. Not
No?
making it up.
It's a real thing.
It existed in other. I don't know if we ever heard of it in the movies before, but the first mention that I remember the Kyber crystals was in the Alan Dean Foster novel sequel to Star Wars that was published in like 1979.
So
They mentioned it way
But
back
not
then.
in the movies.
No,
So is this anything like your midichlorians?
I wouldn't consider it that way. No, they're like dilithium crystals.
Okay. And what exactly are the Guardian of the Wills?
That's another thing that they yanked out of George Lucas's ass from the 70s.
That was in
It's-
some,
It's in his original notes and everything. There's
right?
a lot of talk about that stuff. So
And who are they?
that I couldn't tell you.
Then I'd have to kill you. What are they
Exactly.
guarding? What are they
The will.
guarding? The Wills is like the Force is the Wills?
I don't.
All right.
It's spelled with an H, so it's really Quills.
Oh, like your wig? Like
Yes.
Jan Brady wearing a wig?
Yes.
Okay, and the blind guy using the Force, that was pretty neat to take out the stormtroopers.
Mhm.
But once again, the stormtroopers might as well have been blind as well. Because when he was walking through and nobody was hitting him, I'm like, they must be blind as well. And okay, so the movie does try to explain the stupid weakness in the Death Star that allowed Luke to save the galaxy. But again, here I'm like, couldn't you have gotten a second architect to look at the plans and say, oh, well, something? And okay, and then Forrest Whitaker, who's on oxygen for some reason. What's his name? Saw?
Saw Gerrera.
Okay, Saw Gerrera. And of course he does the cliche of stubbornly refusing to leave, even though he knows the planet's going to be destroyed. And we can't feel sorry for him. They're like, dude, you got your chance to get off, so you decided.
I think he was ready to die.
He was. He's
And
like,
he's
enough with
also-
this oxygen. I'm kicking it.
Saw
He had the
Gerrera-
COPD.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Saw Gerrera is also a character in the Clone Wars TV series. We see him, I forget what season. So there's a whole little storyline with him there. So
But
that's
not
really
Forrest Whitaker, a younger.
no, it's somebody else doing the voice, but so anybody who had seen that would have a connection of some sorts to the character anyway. So kind of understand them a little bit better.
Geeks like Joel.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's where, for me, the linking the New Hope to this movie got a little bit wonky, because in A New Hope, Leia was on her way back to Alderaan, And so she sent the plans with R2 to go find Obi-Wan, who was her only hope. There was a lot of hope in this movie. But now they're saying she was sent to see Obi-Wan before Rogue One even got the plans. So they're playing fast and loose with the timeline here. Joel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's it.
It happens. I could sit here and figure out the specifics behind it, but I'm too tired. So.
Okay.
But it could have been like she was on her way to find him, but then got the plans and then was boarded, so she had to get rid of the plans.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. Thank you, Annie.
No, but
Another-
it
another
does
thing-
say that she was on her way back to Alderaan, not going looking to Tatooine. To get
Wait,
into Sept.
another question then about that for Joel. Am I crazy or doesn't
Well,
Mon
you're
Mothma,
crazy.
whatever her name
That's
is,
that part I can
that-
answer myself.
that's that, yeah. Doesn't she reference a lot of Bothans died bringing us this information? What are Bothans? And it was the Rogue One. It was all them.
I actually, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, even though we just watched this like a month or two ago, I think those plans are actually the second Death Star plans. I think the Bothans all died for the second Death Star plans.
And that's actually what I was thinking. That makes sense. Okay. Got the wrong Death Star.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought it was cute when K2 started to say, I got a bad feeling, and they told him, oh, shut up. We heard that enough. And quite frankly, Mads
Okay.
Mikkelsen,
We're back.
Galen is a dick. Because why didn't he send the plans to somebody? He could have circumvented the whole thing. He could send a copy of the plans, something, put it on a zip drive.
Well, he did put it on a zip drive and he sent it with Bodhi Rook. I think he was just being watched. He knew what, Krennic basically had to drag him back into everything. So he's
Just
going to
when
be
he thought he
watched
was
like a
out?
hawk. Yeah, exactly. So they killed his wife, his
Give us
daughter-in-law.
give us some hint of what the flaw is. Don't just send the plans blindly.
He
Okay,
did. He
I'll
told
say,
him what the flaw was.
but how?
He told him.
But didn't they have to figure? They had to figure it out, or they knew in A New Hope?
No, when when
They knew exactly what to do.
with Saw Gerrera, there was a whole hologram of Mads Mikkelsen spouting out what the flaw in the Death Star was.
Okay, I must have fallen asleep there.
Annie, did it get suddenly too bright in your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And okay, and then but Jin says that she beamed the plans wherever she beamed them. So then why didn't everybody have the plans? Why did Princess Leia have, then
I'm going
everybody?
to say it's like making a phone call. They beamed it specifically to that channel of
Exactly.
the walkie-talkie
And they
type
knew.
of thing.
Okay, and the Vader scene where he kills everyone, that was great. But I
But
feel
it wasn't
like
accurate.
that, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there
Not
were
what happened.
moves here that weren't in the original trilogy. So he
Right.
forgot all the cool things he could do by the time we got to A New Hope.
Well, it's very possible that by the time, he kills all those people in the hallway, and then
Awesome.
Princess Leia escapes on her ship, and then the Star Destroyer has to go after it and capture it. He could be very tired by the time he gets there, that he just doesn't have the energy to do that again.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
Yeah.
it. He could only hold somebody up
Exactly.
in the air.
He couldn't even
That's-
force choke him. He had to hold him.
And quite frankly, the Carrie Fisher cameo was a little creepy. I loved that it was there, but it was a little creepy. It looked weirdly fake.
Kind of like Peter Cushing.
No, I thought
There's a
Peter
lot of
Cushing
that,
was
yeah.
a real person.
Well, he was,
Yeah.
just not in this movie.
I honestly thought they got somebody who looked really, really looked like him. Okay, but again, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I give it a solid 3 stars. It gave me hope haha, that we could add to the canon by having different movies, different stories, in a stupid but fun way. It was fun and I enjoyed it. But of course, all our hopes got dashed with the next one, but that's for next week's discussion. So I'm giving it 3 stars. And I'm going to The Woman in the Glasses. And you're always a big, happy, love this movie kind of girl. What do you think?
Yeah, I did. I liked it. I thought it was great how they just put it all together and how it tied things into it. See, like to me, I thought, oh, look, they were so smart. They like were able to connect all these things. I never noticed the things that go wrong. I'm just like, oh, they're like able to connect everything. And I thought it was fantastic in that way. I like the characters. It's sad that everyone dies, but you know,
They had to.
Say
they
love
had
you.
to. I love K2SO, the robot guy. It was sad that
And-
he had to go.
And who's the voice?
Alan
Alan Tudyk.
Tudyk. Very funny guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought he was great. That was like one of the high points for me. And then the other
Yeah,
funny
but
part,
the poor droid, I mean, I'm like, you know, C3PO and R2 got like 8 movies. He got 1. You're out.
I know, I felt like he had more to give. He definitely did, you know, and he could have been used better
Yeah.
in his own thing, but I thought that was really good. I thought Forrest Whitaker was a little over the top. It was a little too much for me, his character. But the funny one was when they were being taken to the blind guy and they put the hood on him and he says, really, I'm blind. Like that cracked me
Kidding
up.
me?
That
That
Yeah.
was great. That was great.
yeah, so that cracked me up.
Well, in
It-
case he
I
was
like-
faking the blind thing.
Sure.
in case, yeah. Because he walked through all those stormtroopers, you know, like,
Who were
Well, we
also
could all do
blind.
that.
yeah. But it was great and I enjoyed it, so I'm giving it 3 1/4. It was fun, the action was fun. I love the way everything ties in, and I didn't like the Princess Leia at the end. They could have just kept her to the back or to the side. Like, I didn't need the full kind of thing.
I think we needed to see her. It just could have been.
No, I think you knew who she was, but I don't, you know, it wasn't, it was kind of neat, but
Or make it
Maybe-
Billy Lord. Turn around, it's Billy Lord.
Yeah. To me, it was just a filmmaker saying, look what we, hey, look what we can do.
Yes,
Let's do it.
exactly. Exactly.
Well, you know, that and that's indicative of everything George Lucas did for the prequels.
Sure.
Mm,
Look what I can do.
oh, and by the way, just wanted to say, I'm booked for the Star Wars Experience Memorial Day weekend.
Wow.
Wow.
Go you.
Very fun.
I'm writing
Okay,
that-
I'm done.
I'm writing that down.
Duly noted.
We expect full reports and lots of photos.
No,
of
no, Annie's
We'll all
expecting
be
us
there.
to go.
Yeah.
With-
I can't next Memorial Day.
You already know?
Washing
Already?
your hair.
You're booked?
Natasha's talking about something.
Oh,
All right.
Talk to her about Disney then.
Yeah, right.
I'll bring it up again. We did talk about it, so, but anyway.
Okay. And that's just 2 days. So then you have the rest of the week to do something else.
Well, I'm only going Saturday and Sunday for the experience and then staying over Monday night in one of the other parks. And then I'm leaving Tuesday.
But you have to come
Got to go to
Friday night.
Epcot.
You have to come Friday night.
No,
Can be Saturday morning?
Saturday morning. Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't risk that. What if your plane is late? You're gonna miss part of Saturday? Is Saturday, all day Sunday, right?
Yes, but then I'd have to find some place to rent
Actually,
for Friday night.
I thought it was let's say your first day is Saturday. From what I was reading, you don't check in until like 3,
1
4
o'clock.
o'clock or 1
Yeah.
or something like that. It's later in the afternoon.
Oh, so it's really
Then you
only
have
one day.
First night, all day the next day, and then the second night you leave Monday morning.
Yes.
All right. Well, sounds like fun. What do you say, Whoa Tits?
I guess I'm going to be on the high side. I'm going a full 3.5 stars for this one. But I do want to preface that by saying this is my 4th time watching it. If I had only seen it one time, I would have given it probably 3 stars. I've enjoyed it more and more upon each rewatch. I felt it was great as a standalone movie as well as part of the whole Star Wars universe. When I first saw it, I think I mentioned this to you guys earlier. Part of the reason I didn't like it the first time is because I didn't understand what a Star Wars story is versus the saga. When the movie first opened up, it was very off-putting for me to not see the scroll and have the main theme music. I was waiting for that and it didn't happen and I was immediately let down. And then there's some things in there I was a little confused about. So upon a rewatch, I really liked it more. And then, like I said, this is the fourth time I've seen it now, and it was better than ever. So I recommend everyone who's only seen it the one time, maybe give it a rewatch in 6 months or a year. I think you'll like it better too.
Well, this is the second time I watched it.
This is my second.
Yeah, and I don't think it was any better than the first time, but I still enjoyed it. All right.
I thought it moved well. I've seen Ben Mendelsohn as Talos so much that I kept waiting for him to transform. Frank, do you get that reference?
Didn't.
He was
I don't know
not.
if you-
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay. No, I can't let it go. He was the Skrull in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we loved him in that.
Right. And here he was who?
Krennic. He was the main bad guy. He was the one that was forcing Mads Mikkelsen to build a Death Star.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Now I do
Anyway.
remember him now.
okay, good.
But I don't-
I'm also going to
I-
reference Alan Tudyk. He really is a new Frank Welker, and anyone other than Joel who doesn't get that reference, I strongly suggest you go look that up. He is the new voice. He does a lot of voices. Most recently, for anyone who's watching, he was the chicken in Moana, but he's been so many things in so many movies, and he also acts. He was the pirate in Dodgeball way back
Yeah, I
when.
know. I definitely know him.
Definitely
Yeah.
know his name. I just couldn't
He's
think
the
of why.
villain in the first season of Doom Patrol, and he is hysterical. So
Really?
Yeah, you
That's-
wouldn't recognize him from that.
No.
He's got like reddish hair and he's
Yeah.
pasty a little bit. But okay, go on.
That's a good way to describe him. And I thought this was the best batshit crazy I've seen Forrest Whitaker since The Last King of Scotland, which I would say he was fantastic. And I know, Annie, I respect what you said. I enjoyed his portrayal. I thought he really was. I mean, he was a wacko. It was great. He embraced that. But Donnie Yen, the blind guy, he was my favorite by far. I've seen him in. If anybody knows, Ip Man was in real life. It's a real person. He was the guy who trained Bruce Lee way back when, and they did a movie called Ip Man, and he was Ip Man. The guy can really fight. He's the the new Jackie Chan or whatever you want to call it. But he didn't. It was a straight role there, so I didn't know he could be funny. So seeing him in here as kind of the comedic role was very enjoyable for me. And it was also nice to see Mads Mikkelsen as a good guy for once. I'll watch him in anything. So that's it. I just wanted to give compliments
Yeah,
to all the different.
he wasn't eating anybody, so it was good.
No, and I thought all around the acting was solid, and
Definitely.
and the only if I had to give a complaint, I would say the casting. Maybe it was too because I think the movie was 2016, so maybe it was already pre-cast. But she was a little too much like Rey. It was like the same skinny white British chick. I mean, like give me somebody different.
I agree.
That's all I would say. She's like a prettier version of Rey. That's
Ooh.
yeah.
We actually watched this thing yesterday called Attack of the Hollywood Cliches. It's on Netflix. It's a 1 hour and it's a very cute, exactly that. And that's why when I was watching Rogue One, I was like, cliche, cliche, cliche. Because they bring up all of those, the clock goes down to a second before the guy pulls it out. And it was very fun. So I recommend that. And
I was
But the guy is standing there like this, and then he starts the whole monologue.
yes.
So then somebody else can kill him.
Yeah, and they even made a
Which
joke
happened in this
about,
movie.
in this one, we get the hero doing the monologue. Jin does her whole, we're gonna do this before your friend Ben gets killed.
What
Amy,
was
go-
it called? Attack of,
Attack of the Hollywood Cliche.
okay, thanks.
All right, Aim, what you got?
Hey, Mark, what were you just gonna say?
Oh, were you done? Sorry, no, I thought you were
No,
done.
I was just going to add in there at the end that I was half waiting when they showed young Jin in the very beginning. I was waiting for her to say like, "Papa, why do you have a different accent from me?" I just thought it was weird casting. It's a
They're
family.
all-
You should maybe cast.
they're all aliens, so it doesn't matter.
Why would you have a Dutch accent? No,
Yes.
Danish
not-
accent. Danish, right?
Mads, he's Danish.
Yeah, he's Danish.
He looks like Danish to me.
But in Star Wars, it wouldn't be a Danish accent. It would be,
But why would his daughter have a different accent? That's all.
from the
Are you
mother.
saying, this is like when you see Nazis with British accents? They're Nazis, so they're really speaking in German.
But
That is-
I would have no problem with that. But I would have a problem if one Nazi was speaking with a German accent and another one was British. It would make no sense. And that's what I saw here. So
Okay.
that's my
you-
one nit to pick.
It's the Hunt for Red October problem.
That's
the
Okay,
Russian-
'cause what-
The Russian crew, they're all speaking Russian, and then they all start speaking English, but they all have different accents, because you got Tim Curry with his accent and Sean Connery with his accent.
with his bad
with
Russian
an
accent.
Australian accent. Yeah, okay.
but they're all Russian.
Yeah.
All right, Amy Goldman,
I'm going to agree with Mark. in
your hair
that
looks much better now than it did at 10 o'clock.
Tell me about it. I'm going out. And I learned to do the twirlings around each finger to make the curls work even better. Pain in the ass.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
Oh my God. After a while, I was like, ah, fuck, I'm done. I want to say I wanted to agree with Mark in that this was my first time seeing it. And I was like, there's 40 planets, there's 30 characters. I cannot keep track of anybody. And every character had the most ridiculous science fiction comic book movie name. So they were impossible. Mon Mothra, I mean, well, whatever the fuck it was.
Mothra.
Yeah.
As soon as I said Mothra, I was like, okay, it wasn't that. So, and the other problem was I watched it last night and I just had to keep rewinding over and over because I'd be like, oh, fuck, I just missed 10 minutes. So this movie took me like 3 or 4 hours to get through, unfortunately. I could see that I would have really liked it had it been more awake, and I'm still going to give it 2.5 stars, but I would definitely watch it again to appreciate it more because I could see it was a good movie, and I fucking love K2SO4. Oh my God. All I could think of was H2SO4. That's why I call him K2SO4. And that one line he
Wait
said,
a
I'll be
minute,
there.
what is H2SO for?
Hydrochloric acid,
Oh, is it?
something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Science nerd, sorry. What,
Not
Andy?
really, if you don't know the exact.
Yeah, it's hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
Andy, you're mouthing.
No, nothing.
Ah,
She's on hydrochloric acid.
yeah, I guess so.
Now,
Um,
Aim, I disagree with your star ratings because I would never watch a 2.5 star movie again. It has to be a
But
3-star movie.
I don't think the 2.5 stars is a fair rating. And I had the same problem with Black Widow. I still need to rewatch that. I don't think I gave that a fair rating either because I kept falling asleep. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. So those are 2 movies I will definitely
And Black
watch.
Widow was on, you watched it on TV.
I watched it in the theater with Annie and I was waiting for it to become free so I could rewatch it.
Right. Okay.
I loved K2. I loved his line and he was so serious and you all know it. I'll be there for you. Because Cassian told me to. Oh my God. So adorable. He was like the good C-3PO. He's exactly C-3PO, but actually funny and not whiny and annoying. So I loved him. Yeah, so I liked it. Oh my God, I loved when they crashed the 2 ships into the ship. I thought that was brilliant. And I loved when all of the ships, and Frank, you mentioned this, I think last week, when they come out of hyperspace, they just appear. Loved the effect. Loved. And
Yeah,
what
but
was-
again, an effect that doesn't exist in the.
I know,
original
and
trilogy.
it's such a shame because it was beautiful. What
I
was the
think
deal-
George should go back and re-edit it.
What was the deal with that handle, that knob that opened everything up in the middle of the outside world in a field? What did I do there that all these important things are just right out there in the open? And I said, I must have missed something really important because this can't be that stupid.
No, it
Yeah,
was that.
I said the same thing. All it takes is that one little handle thing.
Yeah,
That was it.
And this is the
That
same
good
thing,
wing
like
could move.
the same thing like in the last movie when they were fighting out that big battle on that ship with the water and everything. I'm like, just because it looks good doesn't mean it makes any sense.
Well, it's like, if think about it this way, when Jin was climbing up the inside of the tower to get to, there was that trap door that kept opening and closing. And
Yeah.
all I'm thinking of is that scene in
Galaxy
Galaxy Quest with Sigourney Weaver. Who the hell would design this? You know?
That was cool though. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. So that is all.
How
I
many
still
stars?
disagree
Oh,
with your
2.5.
stars. I still disagree. I would never watch a 2.5 star movie again.
You just don't understand my thinking. The other three do.
I understand it.
You want it to graduate to 3 stars. You're giving it
Yeah.
a chance.
Yeah, I'm giving it a
Alright.
chance because I think it will.
All right.
Oof.
That leaves you, Joelster.
Okay,
I'll
so
leave you for last because I know you're gonna do a Nick Prescott and go on forever.
I'm going to try not to go on for. I'm going to tell a quick story about seeing the film in theaters because my younger son Duncan was 8 at the time this movie came out. Was so excited to see this movie because it had new characters and he loved them and he was so enamored with them. And then the last 20 minutes of the movie he fucking hated and will never watch it again because they all died.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, my-
One thing though, one thing I have to say is that what I loved about this movie was that all the main characters died. You knew they had to die, but it was fun actually seeing a movie where everybody dies.
Yeah, no,
You know,
It's Titanic. It's Titanic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just without the stupid shit.
At the board. Yes, exactly.
And surprisingly, though, apparently the original draft of the script when they wrote it had a happy ending because they didn't think that Disney would allow them to go that dark, and
Oh, wow.
they
What is-
did, and was like, all right, great. I really like the movie a lot. It's very much Bridge on the River Kwai, Guns of Navarone type of film with the group that's moving in to do something specific, and
Right.
it's a suicide mission, and you don't know if they're all going to make it. And I love the fact that the stakes here are high. Like even with the original Star Wars trilogy, I never felt like the stakes were that high. You knew that somehow they were going to eventually defeat Darth Vader and the Emperor. Here it's like we don't know these people. We don't know if we've never seen them again theoretically. So what happens to them? And I think that right there brings the level of storytelling way up.
Well,
And the
you know,
fact
Joel, it's funny because I started my thing saying that we know they succeed at this mission, but
Correct.
you're absolutely right. We didn't know that they were not going to.
right,
Yeah.
that they're the sacrifices that got to they're not the Bothans, but they're the Bothans. They all died to get these other plans. And
But I feel like we went into it assuming that they were almost all going to die. Otherwise, where are they a week later when A New Hope starts?
Right.
well, they could always shoehorn somebody in
Yeah.
later. It's never
They're on-
stopped them before.
They're on their planet doing the Bothan Nova.
Right. So anyway,
Along with all the missing Avengers who didn't show
right.
up.
Yeah.
I also love all the little, and some of the big ones as well, the little tie-ins to episode 4.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's not just, Grand Moff Tarkin. It's not just Princess Leia at the end. It's not just seeing her ship, even when Jin and Cassian Andor are on Jeddah, they bump into 2 characters that we see in the cantina that Luke gets into the 2 characters that Luke gets into the argument with that Obi-Wan.
So they even
Right.
say the same line.
Yeah. Yep. And I
That's
think that's really kind of neat that all of that is there because it gives the fans that extra, connection.
Well, that one of the things I forgot to say was I also loved the tying in the gold leader and the blue leader, or whatever the colors are. But then
Right.
I read in the trivia that those were scenes that were
Yep.
deleted from episode 4. That's why they were in there. It's like, oh, that's what this is. Let's throw them in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And
they use outtakes from.
Yeah.
episode 4. Oh, that's
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think the director, what's his nuts, saw the cans at Skywalker Ranch, asked what they were, and he said, those are these deleted scenes.
Yeah.
So that was great.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I
they
love that.
really, and this was a story that was actually developed a long time before Disney bought Lucasfilm, because Lucasfilm was working on a TV series for Star Wars that never got off the ground, and this was going to be an episode that was pitched for it, and then they
A
converted
long
it
time ago in a galaxy far away.
exactly. And I think for this ancillary project to set up this concept of, okay, now we're going to do other stories in the Star Wars universe,
Yeah.
sets a really high bar that the next movie completely trips over, knocks off, and face plants with.
Well, I
Um,
just said that.
Ah,
Wow.
And that's what
Um,
made them stop doing them. They're like, no.
yeah, well, so I'm giving it 3.5. 3.5, definitely.
Joe,
I
I have a
almost want to go
question.
higher, but
I have a question for you. When we
Yeah.
started this, Frank wanted to start with Rogue One and then start 4, 5, 6, and you said no. And
I
think,
said no. I said no after I watched it. I'm like, no.
yes.
oh, you said
But I
no because you said no because they were spoilers. What are the spoilers that would have hurt us from watching 4?
I don't remember really specifically now, but I remember after watching it thinking, okay, no, because this is, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I thought we didn't really know about the plans, what the flaw was in the plans. I thought we didn't know that.
We know what the flaw in the plans are. It's prevalent in both movies. My
What?
concern- it's prevalent in both movies. That flaw in the Death Star is prevalent in both movies. My
really?
On
reason-
every ship, somebody just keeps programming in a stupid flaw.
well, yeah. My concern with watching Rogue One first and then going into the prequels or the original trilogy is that it really doesn't feel like, yeah, it's connected, but having watched them in that order, it really feels like I'm trying to figure out how to put this. So like in the,
Yeah, no, it feels like a more modern movie, and
Not just a
A
more
New
modern-
Hope is an old movie.
it's not, but it's not just that, and it may come out of that in the fact that like when we see the rebellion in Star Wars, and when we see the Empire in Star Wars, they're not as grandiose or gritty as they are in Rogue One. In Rogue One, the Empire is this huge operation, and you're kind of like, all right, this is what it should have been all along. But for, whether it was budgetary reasons or special effects or
Again,
whatever,
why George Lucas needs to go back and redo it.
no, stop him from doing that again.
So no, but I definitely remember thinking that it was too much of a spoiler. I have
Yeah.
to think why, and that's why I said no. We have to start with the other ones. So yeah. Okay, are we done? Joel, are you done?
Sure. I think, one quick thing, for those of you that did enjoy the movie, Disney Plus does have a TV series coming out next year, 12 episodes focusing on Cassian Andor, Diego Luna's character from this film. Saw Gerrera will be apparently appearing in an episode or two. Alan Tudyk was supposed to return as K2SO, but apparently he's not for the first season. They rewrote things and didn't use him, but so sometime next year we get that TV series and you get to see some of these characters again.
Well, I watched an interesting Star Wars series yesterday, Visions. Have you seen this, Joel?
I have.
The first one is like a Japanese samurai movie. Mark, you would enjoy that.
They're all that.
Oh, are they? I thought it was different.
They're all anime based.
Oh, that's funny, because I thought it was just this one was going to be this kind of thing, then that one was going to be, no, it's all that.
Well, they are just within Japanese anime techniques. They're all slightly different within that, but it's all anime based. And
So
they're interesting.
There's
Yeah.
another episode, another series if you want to watch. Okay, so that's it. Next week, like I said, the one that made Disney stop making Star Wars movies, Solo. We're gonna watch that next week. And just a reminder, Amy Goldman, if you haven't started What If,
I'm on episode 5.
okay, good. Because we're doing that one after Solo. And that's everything. I'm Frank Gaffney. May the force be with you.
And also with you. Stupid.